This is Scott with Texas Archery. I'm here with Derek Begnaud. We're kicking off a series called Hunt and Tell. Derek's gonna go ahead and talk about his equipment and talk about the hunt that he just got back from. So welcome to the show, Derek.
Appreciate it.
So tell me, what bow are you shooting right now, and tell us a little bit about the equipment that's on it.
I'm shooting the Matthews V3, shooting Revex stabilizers, the new Landslide XL with gas strings on it. It's been a great bow for me this year. We've shot tack with it, then obviously put it to use this past weekend.
Before you put that down, I know some guys are going to ask the question, look at your stabilizers. You have, what size of stabilizer you have on the front there?
That's a 12 and an 8.
12 and an 8. So real quick, why would you put those type of stabilizers on this setup?
Because I'm so used to shooting my target bow, and I like the way the bow feels at a certain weight. So it obviously settles me down, but also I like the Matthews as far as how heavy it is up top. I like to give me something towards the back to level that back out.
Okay.
And then also get in situations where I've got a quiver full of arrows, it helps bring the bow back towards level.
Okay, great. So Derek, you went on a hunt this weekend. So your first animal was a fallow deer.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about that situation.
So that was actually my last animal for the Texas Exotic Slam, and we chased a couple the first night, and finally temperatures cooled off somehow in August in Texas, and the next morning we hunted a blind, and I got lucky. He came in and got it full draw, and he stepped in front of the feeder, and he was right against the feeder, so I couldn't shoot against it. 75 pounds and a 515 grain arrow is going through and gonna grab a feeder. So I'm at full draw, waiting. I'm sitting there like this, waiting, and he finally turned and walked away, and when he did, there's a whitetail behind him, so I still couldn't shoot.
Right.
So finally he gave me a shot. He was hard quartered away, and I waited like Cameron Haynes always says. That shoulder came forward and I tucked it in that pocket, hard quarter away shot, and squeezed one off at 29 yards, and he went maybe 30.
So what kind of arrow, what arrow did you use to shoot him with, and how do you have that arrow configured?
So shooting the Easton Axis 340 match grade. I'm running 50 grains of brass up front with a 25 grain iron wheel collar. I'm running the AAE hybrid vanes. And they're a 4-fletch. So a lot of times I like shooting the iron wheel wides, and I've found that the 4-fletch works the best for being able to shoot 50, 60 yards with an iron wheel wide.
Okay.
But for this particular hunt, I was actually hunting with the Server 2.0s, just trying something different. I'm a big fixed blade guy, but had the opportunity to try something different, so just see and experiment.
Okay. And so that was your first kill, and so then the next day, you get to do a little spot and stalk.
Spot and stalking.
And so you went after a couple other animals, so tell me about the next one that you saw.
So while we were there, I was hunting with Tony Hawk, and he said, you ever shot a racket sheep? And I didn't even know what that was. So I said, come on, let's go. And so we're working one of the fields there and looking, and finally we're getting ready to give up and go see what else we could find. And we spotted him bedded down in a little draw in the shade. So we backed out, got out of the buggy, and put a stalk on, and ultimately I think I shot him at like 37 yards.
Okay.
And
you shoot the same arrow, same everything?
Same arrow, same everything. My only advice is, if you shoot a racket sheep as thick as that hide is, don't shoot a mechanical. Go ahead and shoot a fixed blade. So we didn't get the penetration we wanted, but we're shooting through 4 or 5 inches worth of fur.
Yeah. So not a lot of us are pulling 75 pounds either. So good advice on that one. And so then your last animal that you went to go look for, were you looking specifically for a Texas doll, or were you looking for some a different?
So I reached out to Tony and told him I wanted a Texas doll, and so I want to start working on the Texas Ram Slam. So the Texas doll was the first one that I wanted to do, and actually my wife and I were going to do it together. And we were both going to start shooting animals together, and Tony called and said, man, I have a big doll. He said they got eyes on a big doll, and so we hurried up. And
it's a beautiful animal, and it's a beautiful mount too as well.
So I couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity that I had this weekend. I harvested 3 great animals, 3 big animals for what they are, and looking forward to future hunts.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, and thanks guys for listening.